My life as a mechanic started for me in Waukomis, Oklahoma, standing around in the back of my grandfather's Ford garage, hoping that one of the mechanics would share just a little piece of information about how to fix a car. Those were the formative years. Well, I suppose my fascination with classic cars has never faded. Now I can't believe it. I've been here 40 years at the same location working on old cars, and I can't wait to get to work every day just to learn something new and to share that with someone in the shop. I've heard some fantastic stories in my shop. Think about the car that you first drove to high school, or that pickup that you hauled hay in when you were growing up. Corvettes, MGs, T-Birds, GTOs, pickups, Broncos, and Jeeps, just to name a few. I never lost my enthusiasm for classic cars. And I hope that over the years that I'll be able to help you with your cars and teach you something about how to work on your automobile. My name is Barry Wilson. Family man, classic car enthusiast, certified mechanic, and your guide under the hood of your favorite classic car. Hey, we're in Texas, and when you want to drive a classic car in Texas, you better have a good radiator and you better have a pretty strong electric fan. In fact, some of the fans that we have sound like we're at the airport because they pull so much air. But down here, when you're sitting at a light waiting for it to change 3 times before you get to move again, your car's going to sit there and overheat if you're running your air conditioning and it's 108 outside. So we really work hard to try to get good radiators, high CFM fans, they pull a lot of air through there, and we work hard to make sure these cars stay cool so you can enjoy them in the summertime. Even though it's still hot outside, sometimes you don't drive them with the AC on, but you need it. And they are loud, but that's just part of the game, I guess, for these cars. So here's a fan that we put on this radiator on this car, this 36 Ford, so that when he's padooping around town with his boys, it'll stay cool. He doesn't have air conditioning, but he needs to have good airflow. Now, forced airflow is air that comes through the grill from the movement of the car. You know, you're driving down the road 35 miles an hour, you stick your hand out the window, you can feel the air, so that same air is going across this radiator, cooling it down. But when you slow down, it doesn't pull any air, and you need something to keep sucking air across there to keep this engine running cool. So yesterday we had a problem. The radiator fans that we put on there, and this is one of them, stuck back. They were too far back and they were hitting the distributor cap. We've now made the adjustment for that, and I want to show you what we did so you can kind of get an idea, because this is one of the things that we do on Mustangs. The radiators are thick on these Mustangs. We have to make a new battery box area. We have to widen the area, and we put real thick radiators in there. We move them forward, but it all fits if you know how to do some of the adjustments. And one of these is to put it inside the shroud instead of attaching it to the outside of the shroud. So take a look here. So here's a fan. The fan yesterday was setting out here like this on the outside of that radiator shroud. You can see we've got it all taped off so we don't scratch it. But we wanted to adapt that so it would fit on the inside of this, and you can see that's what this one did. You see how much area we picked up, because that fan is now back on this side rather than sitting on this side. And we just bolted in the other way. You have to enlarge this hole, and you're going to have to make room for these slots, but it'll work. And you want to make sure that when you're done that the radiator fan doesn't touch the radiator. If it does, you need to put some insulator pads on there. But now look, this wouldn't fit before. This is the distributor cap, and it would absolutely not go on there, but we got it on there now, and it's going to work. So we're going to finish up putting this one on the inside and wiring this dude up, and it'll really cool well when we're done. Hey, I'm Barry Wilson with Wilson Auto Repair. Go to my website, wilsonauto.com. I hope this is helpful, because if you got a Mustang, we do this a lot on them, and also on the Broncos. You have to make some adjustment, but buy a really good radiator. We use Ron Davis radiator in Arizona. He custom builds these aluminum radiators that are bulletproof.